Welcome to NHS 102 Weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Tyler Simpson. Just going to recap Sandy. In Millis, we had a max wind gust of 61 miles an hour. That's according to meteorologist Danielle Niles on ECN. There was a 61 mile an hour wind gust recorded in Millis. Total rainfall for Sandy, 2.26 inches. That's right around what I was expecting for Sandy. And this is a look at the exact track that Sandy took. The official spot where Sandy landed was Atlantic City, New Jersey, and they really got slammed. It came to shore Monday night. And this is the surface map of Sandy at 11 a.m. on Monday. I really want to show you this because it really is a good job of showing the location of Sandy. And you'll notice that the winds in this map, they're showing this the winds coming in from the southeast. And that was really why New York City got flooded so badly, was because these winds are always strongest on the east side of a hurricane, and that's why New York City really got slammed, and that was why the Jersey Shore really got slammed. In combination with the wind, there was already an astronomical high tide, and what that wind did was once the tide came in, it didn't let the tide go out, and it made it that much worse having an astronomical high tide with Sandy. This is a barge that washed ashore in Long Island, and it really shows how we were really spared the brunt of the burden from Sandy. This is a fire in Breezy Point, New York. Over 50 homes were destroyed. Firefighters couldn't even reach the fire because their water was chest high. They had to rescue people from boats. And this, I believe, is Battery Park, New York. You can see the streets almost like rivers with that water from Sandy. And I know I've been reading a lot of stuff on Politico and the Washington Post. I've seen stuff that links Sandy to global warming. That's not necessarily the case. As you can see, I showed this graphic in my last forecast, but it really does a good job of showing that without that cold air, without this cold air, Sandy would have drifted off to sea. Without this cold air and this high pressure, Sandy just would have floated harmlessly out to sea. So really, that cold air is what brought Sandy back towards the East Coast. If that cold air wasn't there, things would have turned out far differently. We wouldn't even be talking about Sandy. And there were blizzards in West Virginia and also Virginia. Some portions picked up to 20 to 30 inches of snow in the Appalachian Mountains. So global warming is not the biggest factor in the storm. And I just want to point out where the storm developed. The storm developed right here in the warm Caribbean waters, and it wasn't the strongest hurricane. It barely even held on to its hurricane status as it made landfall. So it's not the strongest storm. It developed in the warm Caribbean waters. It's really hard to attribute Sandy to global warming, especially when you consider that the hurricane season lasts to mid-November. And some might argue that New York was overdue for a hurricane anyways. If you look back at the historical data, there have been hurricanes hit New York City. The difference, we've built up our shores in the last 40, 50, 60 years. We've really built up the coastline, so naturally any hurricane that comes up the East Coast is going to have a much bigger impact than it did 50, 60, 70 years ago. And right now in Millis, it's currently 52 with a dew point of 51, and the barometer right now is at 29.55 inches, and it's on the rise. When it's on the rise, that indicates that Sandy is pulling away because the barometric pressure is going up. And this, in the background, that's from the Blue Hills Weather Observatory. That is a camera that they have, a web camera up there. And I'm not sure if you can see, there's a little bit of haze, but that's Boston in the background. And you can see there was a little bit of high, thin clouds. That was taken at 7:30 this morning. The sun was just coming up, and you can really see the clouds starting to break and that clear blue sky coming in behind it. And this is the current radar. You'll notice that there is still a tiny bit of residual effects from Sandy. Sandy officially is right out here. If I were to put this radar into motion, which I can't, you would notice still some rotation, and that is what's left of Sandy. You'll notice some snow, as I was talking about, out towards the mountains of the Appalachians. I even heard a report from Penn State that they had had a few snow showers, and you can really see the only thing that's going to be affecting our area is this one tiny little band left over from Sandy. Taking a look closer into Boston, you can really see you might get affected by these showers, but other than that, I'm really not expecting Sandy to have much more of an impact. The winds have already died down, and this is a current look at the surface map This is Sandy right now. It's pulling away, and that cold air is coming in behind it. This is indication that there's going to be much colder air behind Sandy. And your trick-or-treating forecast, dry and warm. Temperatures running 55 to 60, perfect for those trick-or-treaters. Just be careful down power lines. I'm not sure if where you live, I mean, people maybe you live in different areas. Just be careful for down power lines, down trees, and if you see a wire, stay very far away from it. You never know if that wire is still alive. Don't take the chances, be safe. Looking ahead, long range, cold and quiet. Temperatures coming up, we're looking at temperatures in the lower to mid 50s right through the weekend. There's a small chance that there may be a stray shower this weekend, but I'm really not too concerned about it. But if you see a shower this weekend, don't be shocked, but it's going to be light at the most. And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Simpson. Thanks for joining us.